I get a lot of viewer requests for doing more readings on like individual members of BTS, and it just like it just seems like it's like a big project because there's a lot of them. So I thought for a second I would just like do a reading on the whole band, and because like if you think of the band from like beginning to the end of their project, like it's sort of like a life cycle of its own, and it has like its own sort of personality and stuff, and yeah, and I just like there's some aspects to that band that when I contemplate them, it makes me a bit nervous because like they started out pretty young, and I don't know, just like I just get this kind of like abuse of like the industry kind of abusing them or I don't know, leading them down this path where they can't like escape from or something. So like it's not an energy I like to sit in too much and look at, but because I want the best for each member and that they should have their like free will and stuff. So because like usually your own life purpose, your free will, it has more kind of impact or importance than being enslaved to some kind of one other person's idea. So okay, I'm just gonna just try to focus. Like there's no jackhammer today, but like, it's a lot of traffic. So I'm just gonna try to not listen to the cars. I feel like there's like two kind of main leader members of the band, like members of the band, and then there's two more who are like not as much decision makers, but sort of keep the vibe high. So I would say like there's four members who are like super on board. Two of them are a bit more lazy, and then there's like I guess I don't know if there's 7 or 8 members, but like the rest of them are just mad and like not not into it. Not like angry all the time, but just like wish they could do some other things with their talents. Because I don't know if there's like punitive measures, like if they wanted to quit the band, like would they lose a bunch of money, or I get the feeling like that might be the case. Like I get the number of like 5 years, like they have like 5 more years to complete some sort of cycle within the band, at which point they could make a shift. I feel at that point like the band could split off and become like 3 members who are still want to continue, and then maybe the rest of them would like maybe one or two would want to start a family. Because at one point it's like how much is enough money to make like if you can retire early and live the life like the way you want to, whether it's still performing or having more time to like see the world on your own terms, not just like backstage in stadiums and stuff, not just like from the tour bus window. I feel like some of the romantic relationships that are happening within the band are partly due to like shifts in popularity and like a sort of domination, like aligning yourself with power, like that might like because sometimes desire, like you can desire things that aren't like good for you. Like the other day my son bought this like amazing pizza, and I normally like because I'm like in my 50s I can't really like go there, but I was like okay, I'll have some. And now I'm paying for it because it's like you know if you're like middle aged, like it's like you instantly gain 5 pounds just by having a slice of pizza. So I don't know how that works, but it's true. Anyway, so like they might desire someone based on a negative urge, like that isn't like it's not from unconditional love, it's from needing like survival. And like there, I guess like this, like the sorry, my phone is jiggling, but it's like the Stockholm syndrome where you fall in love with your captors to survive, to get like gentler treatment, or to avoid abuse, or like yeah, to be out of danger. Yeah, so there's that. So like I think if you were to ask each individual member of the band, like if money was no object, if security was no object, like what would you do? Like would you choose to be in this band if you had everything you wanted and you were guaranteed like personal freedom and whatever? I think like a good half of the band would be like no, because yeah. So like it's nice to appreciate that they're talented and like this special moment of them being together like as fans. But to demand that they stay together is like you're part of the cruel oppressor in a way. So like if you can think of each of them wanting to like be like their own flower that opens, you know, uniquely and looks completely different, and maybe each flower needs like a different place to grow, like how like orchids, I don't grow like on tree bark, or like there's the lotus flower, there's like different like flowers emerge from different places, and so they're all kind of like that, like they can't just be jammed into one uh, clay pot, or you know what I mean. I mean, they are for now, but like it creates this sort of tension, and it's a bit unnatural, let's say, like to be in it for so long. And if you think of like cool bands, like if you think of like uh, like Tupac or something, like he wasn't around for that long, and it's like and it still really resonates, like because he never really had a chance to make like a terrible album, so people are like, um, like you know what I mean, and so like staying in something too long, like there's a risk that you might like you know uh, play yourself, or like just like overdo it, like overstay your welcome. And like at some point it's gonna seem like, let's say like they're 35 and it's like wow, they're still like even the fans have moved on, like and started their lives, but like the band hasn't. So like it might seem disruptive to like stop and like do something else, but if they don't, there's the danger of like devaluing their earlier work, like you really have to it's interesting to consider like when is it good to leave. You don't want to, it's the equivalent of some having someone over for a visit and then all of a sudden they're living on your couch every day and you're like okay like um so I think like it would be good if all of the members started thinking like, okay, what am I going to do after this next cycle of contract is over, and I feel like maybe they have 5 more years of obligation, and then or if they asked together, okay, let's do 5 more years and present that to the administration, and then they have that time to like really make like a good next step for all of them individually. And if some of them want to like continue being BTS, like let's say BTS right now is like all caps, like it could be like lowercase, like if it's just 3 of them or something, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like with at least one of them, like there's a bit of a mental health concern, just because like it's so personal, like it's so draining, like the fans and like living with each other in such close proximity, and like some people are introverts, like some creative people are highly sensitive, and to be like forced to, it's being like overstimulating. And that might like create some dysfunction because it's not like the ideal climate for that person, like and it creates this like prolonged immaturity, this like not natural, let's say. Like I feel like some of them are like two or three of them are like almost like they've played their character so long they believe they're that character, but they're like it's not like authentically them. So there's a danger of it like creating these distortions that would take a long time to unpack. um, yeah, but I just feel like this like immense pressure from the fans to like it's like the fans are sort of dictating their lives in a way, like and then the fans become the oppressor instead of just appreciating like what is, because they want things to go a certain way, or they want to see like the interaction of like two of the members, like are they fighting, are they in love, and then the members feel an obligation to like take video of each other like hanging out, or I don't know what, like. So it's like if the fans can like quote unquote like get a life, like do their own projects and stuff, and then maybe your project is something that BTS can enjoy, and then it takes the pressure off of them of having to fulfill your dreams and goals. I feel like one or two of them are like really bright like intellectually, and they might like when they're a little bit older, I don't know, go to college or like find psychology interesting, or like something relevant to their experience that they went through. Um, I feel like one of the members is like really dealing with a lot of anger, and like there's the danger of them like getting into trouble like legally and stuff, just from um, lashing out, or like poor communication skills, like it's like a pressure cooker that will like eventually just blow up. Um, it might be good, like in that case, for the band to like scale back on interviews or appearances and stuff, just so like that tension doesn't build up so much. Because it's like it's coming from resentment of being like overwatched, um, like a lack of privacy. They're not being given like the chance to like live kind of normally. I kind of feel like this is a weird idea, but you know how like Paris Hilton did that show, that reality show, like where they like lived in the country, or like did different the simple life. So I kind of feel like it would benefit them, like the BTS, to do like if they were like if they had to create content, let's say they did like a sort of simple life type thing where they're like living with regular people doing like hard work, and they're like in the country and living with them and helping out, and you're sort of seeing how they cope. I feel like that actually would be very healing for them. It'd be good. It would be nice for the fans, and but it would also be really therapeutic for the band. So if they could do some kind of like simple life type thing, that'd be good, but without all the without all the attitude. Like, 'cause I feel like, and without getting like drunk or what, I don't know. Like, was I didn't watch the whole show, but I think like uh, what's her name? Sophia Richie. No, what? Not Sophia. The other one. I can't remember her first name. Anyway, the Mrs. Richie, like, she like seemed it could get into kind of a negative vibe, or like it seemed like maybe she was like high or drunk sometimes. I don't know. Like, it just seemed like it'd be good if it was more a wholesome kind of show. Is what I'm saying. Um. All right. BTS. Yeah, I just feel like the pressure of like image making is really oppressive for them. Like, it's kind of like, how would you feel if you every day you had to wake up gorgeous and like uh, keep outdoing yourself, and like, where can you go? Like, it's, I just feel like they just want to be photographed less. Let's say, I feel like that. And I feel like if they were given like even more studio time, let's say like 2 months longer to create an album, like the album would be that much better. But they're just kind of rushed through things. And I feel like there's like two or three producers who are heavy-handed, who don't like, who think they know everything, or but they're not like letting these people, like, they're not letting like the band do as much of the songwriting, and like, because it, like, you can make something like a product with actors, or you can actually have a band where like the band is making the music and stuff. And the if the band is actually making the music long term, it has more impact and more artistic relevance than a fabricated band. I guess it's like the difference between like the Spice Girls and like the Stooges' first album or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it kind of seems like that whole sort of Simon Cowell like machine of like removing someone's personality and like, you know sanitizing it for the market, like, it's just like a really awful practice. And deep down, like, he probably has moments where he just hates himself for for doing that. But anyway, so it would just be better, even if it seems more awkward, it's just better if like the management lets the band like write their own stuff. And those like oppressive like boardroom kind of decision makers would have to like be quiet and just like provide them with like the best gear, the best recording gear, like um I think if one or two members like start like dating, or like having, like, creating a family one way or the other, having children, or just let them, like, don't freak out, don't be like, oh no, so and so is not on tour, like, it's okay, like if you love them, love their personal freedom and appreciate what they've already given. Like, you don't have to just keep like, it's like having it's like over milking a cow that you have like you just give it a, sometimes you need to like give it a rest. um yeah, I just feel like there's some like deep-seated anger that's building up, like one or two members, and without some kind of like change, like it's not good. Like it's really not, actually really not good, and I feel like the possibility of like danger kind of thing. um that's why that kind of like Simple Life show would be a good idea. It's like each of them separately, like, living on a farm with the family and helping out, like how they all cope and stuff, like might be good, and it might be good for them to be apart from each other. And then when they come back together, like they'll have more personal strength and like deliver uh more interesting material, and like they'll have more purpose behind what they're doing, instead of just trying to like outdo themselves, or like feeding off of, like getting out of that vicious circle of like feeding off what you just did, or something like that. I feel like there's some greedy like executives who just won't stop. Like that's just their thing. Like they have like a money machine in place, and like they don't care like who dies kind of thing. Like they just want it to continue, and they like having that money, and they like having power over, you know, basically they started out as children, so like they like having power over children who were like forced into this financial slavery. Like I know that like there's parts of it that are enjoyable and artistically relevant and stuff, but like honestly, would they choose to be in it that long or for that number of days a year if they had personal freedom? Like maybe they would rather work on an album, like tour for a month, and then like live their lives. Like that's still a career. It doesn't have to be just nonstop. Yeah, I just feel like there's some people who, some of the members are understand like how uh rough, like difficult some of the people are in their organization, and so they've learned to just play nice and kind of make their personalities super light and just like, yeah. And then there's some of them who are just like furious and forced into silence, and and then that creates like awkwardness or like some, you know crabbiness or infighting situations, and it sort of creates this standstill, like that the flow from some people and the stopping motion from some people just are creating this stagnancy, so like something has to give. To the point where like they might actually deliver like a somewhat negative message, even if they are trying to like create something positive. Like the end result will be like just observing the tensions and the sadness and stuff. So it's better if they can like find ways to heal and evolve, and then get back to work like as they want to and stuff. It's possible that because they were like minors when they joined, if they were under adult age when they started, that they could get like lawyers together and say like, listen, we signed when we were minors, and we need to make these adjustments now that we're adults to reflect like a fairness that should be in place, or something like that, or like, you know it's ethical to have time off to heal, or to like, get your personal life on track, or spend more time with family, like things that are stabilizing. I feel like they could together like get lawyers for that purpose, and it's right and good to do that. I don't think a judge would disagree. Um, so, and I just feel like one or two of the members are really like more prominent in delivering this like beautiful, peaceful, sort of angelic kind of message, and the rest are like either just good dancers, good musicians, and just sort of back up that message. And that's okay. Like they don't all have to be like geniuses in their own right. Yeah, I just feel like it's better for them to decide to end the band abruptly for like selfish reasons, and I mean selfish in a good way, because like we need to take care of ourselves. Um, than for them to drag it on too long and then suffer. And I think if you're a fan of theirs, you don't want them to suffer. And you'll survive if you don't know every little, if you're not watching like new footage of them every day. Like become more interested in your own life and make that like as beautiful and creative and fantastic and romantic or whatever, like the things that you appreciate about them, like might be qualities that you yourself have or that you have dormant. I mean, maybe one of the purposes of the band is to just go like get together with a bunch of your friends, maybe a larger group than you thought, and make something fun and amazing and see where it goes. Like they had their initial awkward phase. They had their phase, I think, when they didn't have a huge fan base. So like you can start something too, you know. Like they need BTS needs something to watch also and to be a fan of. So like that's on you to make something cool and don't be mad about like the awkward phase, because you learn a lot like by like failure is just like understanding what it's like editing. It's like what you know what you want to do next time. So like you have to embrace failure in some way. Um, and I do feel like as time goes on, they'll become like amazing public speakers and like leaders in that sense of like just um, so they'll still be public, but they might like make appearances more rather than like be in a band setting necessarily. Like they're just you know, if they're allowed to heal and stuff. So I just feel like two of the members just need to be super badass and go like, I love my life so much, and I know that like it's authentic for me to like make this change now, and I'm gonna do it bravely, and I know that like, you know, God will help me and guide me and stuff, and then that will like help the rest of the band like make this change and adjustment and stuff. And like if you're fans of them now, like really just really appreciate everything they're doing as if like their band might stop in like 2 years or something. Just appreciate so much the moment, like what you know, uh, instead of like having this like unquenchable desire for the future. Just like be present in the now, and just go and just like really enjoy everything about what they're doing right now. I feel like I said before, their administration like won't stop being greedy, so it's like really up to them and up to their fans to like allow them the freedom to choose. That will defeat like the monster, the oppressive monster of like how things are being organized right now. I just get a more peaceful feeling after I said that. So I hope, you know, I hope the best for all the members of that band. And I hope you guys can like love the band in an ethical manner that like allows them like personal freedom and stuff like that. All right, have a good day. Thank you.